Hello and welcome to the In a Nutshell podcast with myself, Andrew Miles Davis, my co-host Chris Branch, and this is the daily 10-minute podcast where we take out all of the techie talk around generative AI and focus on what the everyday person, content creator, and marketer wants to hear. Now, we've only got 10 minutes, so we can only focus on one particular subject. And today we're going to talk about a subject based on a news article that was on the BBC website, actually, and it was entitled my AI twin may get me more modeling work than me. And that was actually quite interesting. So I started reading the article and it really kind of resonated with some of the things that we spoke about before. Because in a nutshell, and that's not the end of the episode, by the way, but in a nutshell, it was to do with a model who has been asked to do modeling a few times. And she said no. And then eventually she said, why not? Let's just try. And what she's done is she started to license her likeness out now. So she's still doing face-to-face modeling, but she's actually now working with an agency who's created an AI figure of herself, like one of these virtual influencers, and is using that to essentially monetize her looks. So before I get into a bit more what kind of like the detail of it, what's your thoughts on all of this, Chris?
So it's a tough one because obviously I've got no interest or involvement in modeling, but I understand it. I think that this is a parallel use case for the business world, though. Where CEOs can make AI versions of themselves. We've seen HeyGen and other technologies like this coming about, so it's not surprising to me.
Yeah, it reminds me of essentially it's how can I put myself in 2, 3, 4, 5 different places at once? And that's kind of one of the reasons why this model called Alexandra, why she decided to do it. And that was kind of like the benefits of it. She said that when it comes to what she's doing, yeah, she can model. But if I can create an AI model or a virtual model, then I can avoid all of the traveling. B, the money still comes to me. 3, I can work with multiple business and brands, etc. And it seems to, for someone who, I don't know if she really likes modeling, it seems like she just wants to do it because she seems to be good at it. So it's almost perfect for her. But the danger, though, is because somebody might hear this and think that's a great idea. But one of the dangers, I should say, is you licensing your rights completely away. And that is something that a lot of the comments where people were talking about. And that's something that really kind of, when I was reading this first things first, that was what I was thinking. Yes, it sounds good in theory.
Terms and conditions, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
In her contracts with these people. But, the first thing I thought of with this story when you told it to me, because it wasn't something that landed on my radar, you obviously picked this up and then we had a discussion about it, was MF Doom and other musicians, they wanted to create clones of themselves. And the whole argument was that they're a director as well as a musician, in which case this actress is a director now. She's directing her virtual character to do these shoots. And that is a different skill set that should be encouraged. And agencies will make these fake influencer profiles that are models too. And there'll be an underlying corporate directorship. But she's an individual creative being her own director of her AI avatar. It's a bit meta, but it is pretty, unique and cool and a different set of skills required.
Yeah, definitely. I think she actually said that, it's doing it this way is hoping to secure her future in modeling. Because what it can do is that it can make you look younger. It can make you look older. It can make you a lot of the things that a lot of the models are getting in trouble with now, like Photoshop. And I'm not talking, when I say models, I'm not talking about what happened with the royal family this week when it comes to the Photoshop or photo editing. I'm talking about I actually don't look like this. This is how I took the picture, but then once it's gone through Photoshop or whatever program people are using, now this is what I look like on the cover. Technically, this is that, but on steroids, what it can be, what it actually can be. So I'm kind of surprised the industry, or not just the industry, other people are pushing this, which kind of contradicts what they've been against for the last X amount of years anyway. So it'd be interesting to kind of see where this goes. And she obviously wants to push this because it secures her future. And some of the things that she says and other people say make sense, because it seems to be working with she seems to be working with an agency who's known for creating these virtual models. And it's
Yeah, right.
on
That
another
makes a lot of
podcast
sense.
we spoke about these models making substantial amount of money per month as
Mm.
well. So
Yeah, I
she
did
seems to
wonder
be
that
working with that
because, like,
agency. Mm.
it's a lot of work for one individual to take on with no experience. That's what I said. Like the
Mm.
director role in this is a lot more complex than just being a model. Like, you
Yeah,
need to know exactly what to do, what makes sense, your brand worth, your PR value, all of these other external things that you may not have considered as just a raw model through a talent agency. And
yeah.
so, yeah, it's like being your own talent agency.
But
You
then
know,
that's another job that someone could do. So
a
all of
hundred
us, or
percent,
talent agents, that's another like
100%,
roles that can happen. And something
100%.
we've always said that AI is gonna, yes, obviously certain jobs are gonna go, but there's gonna create more jobs.
Right.
What I think is going to be interesting, and it kind of goes into what Levi said a few months ago, where they said that actually they're going to start using AI models rather than real models for
Mm.
numerous reasons. And if, for example, I wanted to create a model that looks like this and this and this, and I create an AI model, that model could look very similar to someone else. And that
Hmm.
could just be a random person. And they could look at that and they say, you've modeled this particular new AI virtual reality
Right.
person
Yeah.
off of me, and now I want to sue you. Now they're
Mm.
going to turn around and say, no, I'm not. This is, but again, like this is another great area. Like, how are you going to prove as a
Mm.
brand that you didn't model it off of this person? Especially now anyone can say they're a model because of Instagram. Because all you need is some good lighting and a camera, and you can upload and say, hey, I'm a model. Um, so that's another area which is going to be quite interesting. This example here with Alexandra, she can say, this is me, this is my avatar,
Yeah.
and that's that. But when Levi's and other companies who will eventually start creating their own one, because why
Yeah.
would I
Right. Why wouldn't
pay
they?
someone when I can just create someone that looks exactly like you? But then it's that gray area, which anything
Or they might go to a marketplace where you've uploaded a load of AI models, and then they choose which one goes with their campaign, and it becomes like a weird dystopia where everybody is an AI version of themselves in a
yeah
marketplace that's being selected by big brands. But
yeah.
it's whatever. If that's the way that they interact, and a decent fee, let's hope.
I think
As
that's
much as the
yeah.
original model would have got, and that's fine.
I didn't think about the marketplace because that's another thing, because you're seeing marketplaces with your voice.
Yeah,
So 11 Labs has put out marketplaces with your
exactly.
voice. You're going to probably have a lot of marketplaces when it comes to your virtual avatar for modeling, because there's already marketplaces for influencers anyway.
Yep.
But now you're going to be marketplaces for virtual influencers, and I can see that being would it be big business? I don't know, but it's going to be an interesting business. I just think if I was a brand,
Mm,
can I not just hire someone a talented designer to
mm,
create people, especially like virtual people, especially that's gonna be wearing our products or
right.
our items of clothes? Like I'll probably go down that route,
Mm,
but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like with many things in this digital space, it's let's see what happens.
yeah. Let's see what happens. I'm interested in the voice thing as well, because I think, as you said, if one voice actor only gets one gig and they can only spend 3 hours, recording for one company that pays them X amount of money, and in those same 3 hours they could have gone to a recording studio and uploaded an AI character of themselves, which then can be purchased thousands of times. That is definitely a new future model for voice actors. And
Yeah.
it may not be all doom and gloom if you're able to create AI models. It's
Mm.
only if you're willing to do that or not.
Yeah. And in a nutshell, when it comes to licensing your voice, your looks, your likeness, it looks like it's going to be very, very, very big business in the future.
Mm.
But there's going to be a lot of gray areas.